Hey friends, so we are going to talk about comparing decimals today. So we already know how to compare whole numbers, right? We always start with the biggest place that we have, and then we compare and see what other numbers have digits in those places. And whichever one is bigger, then that's our bigger number, right? So the same thing is true when we are working with decimal numbers or numbers that are not whole, right? The same thing is true. We start with the biggest place value that we have and we compare, right? And then we know which number is bigger. So I have some fractions over here that we're going to get to in a second, but I'm going to start with just these numbers that are written in my standard form decimal notation. So I know that I need to start with my biggest place value, which here, the biggest one that I can see is the ones place. Well, most of these don't have any one holes, but this one does. So this number is automatically my biggest number because I have one hole and none of these other numbers have a hole. So I'm going to do like smallest going to the right towards my greatest. So I'm going to put my biggest number over here. Now, the rest of these numbers don't have anything in the ones place. So I need to go to my very next place value, which would be my tenths place. So some of these numbers have digits in the tenths place. So remember, a tenth would be about this size, right? If this is one whole, this would be a tenth. Okay, so this is really important to remember because if I take a look at these two numbers, for example, let's take a look at these two. Okay, here I see a digit that's 2, but here I see a 9. I know 9 is way bigger than 2, but this is why we have to remember our place value. This 9 is not in the tenths place, so I don't have 9 of these, right? This 9 is in the hundredths place. So this means I have 9 of these little guys right here. And if I have 9 of these, it's not going to be the same as 2 tenths, right? So this 2 is in that bigger place. That means that this number is going to be bigger than this one. Okay, so I'm going to look at all of my numbers that I have a number in the tenths place, and these are it. So now I can just look and see which one is the biggest one. Here I have 4 tenths, so I know that's going to be my next biggest number. And here we both have 2 tenths, so these are the same. Now that means I need to go to my next place value, which would be the hundredths place. Well, here I don't have anything in the hundredths place, so that just means there's nothing there. Here I have 3 hundredths, so this number automatically becomes bigger because this would be the same as 20 hundredths, and this would be 23 hundredths. So this one is bigger, and then this one is smaller. All right, now I have 2 more decimal numbers left, and here I have nothing in the ones and nothing in the tenths, but I have a digit in the hundredths place. Here I have 9 of these guys, and here I have 2. Well, this is pretty easy. I know that 9 hundredths is bigger than 2 hundredths. Okay, so if I was just looking at my fraction or my decimal numbers written in standard form, this would be the order from smallest to largest. And remember, we think about money. If you think about this like money, this definitely makes sense. Here I have 2 pennies, here I have 9, here I have 2 dimes, here I have 2 dimes and 3 pennies, here I've got 4 dimes and 3 pennies, and here I've got $1 and 7 pennies. So it makes total sense. Now, sometimes I'm going to have some decimals and some fractions that I need to decide what order they go in. So let's think about where this number would go in our lineup here. I have 25 hundredths. Well, if I was thinking about writing this as a decimal, I would have 2 full tenths and 5 hundredths. So here is what it would look like. Okay, I know that that's bigger than 23, but smaller than 43. So I'm going to move this guy right in here where he belongs. Now, let's take a look at this number. I have 3 tenths. So if I was writing this as a decimal, it would look like this. I have 3/10, and I could put a 0 out here too. So I need to look and see what numbers also have tenths. Okay, 2/10 and 2/10. I know it's more than that. Ooh, 25/100. I know that that's still 2 in the tens place, in the tenths place, so I know it's going to be bigger than this. Oh, over here I have 4 in the tenths place, so it's not bigger than that. So it is going to go right here. So I don't know if I can move these guys. I don't think I can. So here we would have this fraction would be bigger than 23/100, but smaller than these guys. And then my 3/10 is smaller than 43/100, but bigger than 25/100. So this is where this guy would go. All right, guys, so when you're comparing with different forms, you can convert them to a fraction form, to a decimal form, so that you can easily compare if you need to. All right, you guys, you are ready to begin our activities for this rotation. Have fun.